at the start of this year, as I mentioned in a previous episode, I was at a point in my life where I was going through the motions, ticking a lot of the boxes of what life should be about, in a very strong financial position, doing what I love for a living, with beautiful friends, very healthy body, living in one of the best places in the world, and just craving depth, craving going deeper and deeper and deeper. And it's almost like the more that I've gone through life and found what society conditions us to believe is going to create happiness, the more I've found those external measures of happiness, the more I've been able to recognize what actually creates deep meaning and fulfillment in life. And so I really believe in the sentiment that, and in one of the models that I teach at workshops and retreats, people won't start to look deeper in life until they have some kind of setback. And we can see this with celebrities. They spend their whole life pursuing making it as either a music artist or an actor or some kind of professional athlete. And they make it right to the top. And the thing that's kept them going is this excitement that when they get there, it's going to be amazing. But then when they get there, it's not quite what they think. So they try to layer in more performance, more rewards, more money, more significance. And then it starts to become more and more obvious to these people that are experiencing the peak of human achievement. It's obvious for them that have everything that society says is that peak and still feel really low. In fact, feel more pain than they've ever experienced in their life at the point of making it. And my belief is that we don't start going on the spiritual path, the path of deep meaning and fulfillment, until we hit what I call the intolerable pain of separation. And for my journey, that point happened in 2017. And that's when I'm going to say 2018 was when the real pain started to hit. And that's what called me to continue to look deeper and had me eventually shut down my business with the intention of learning to love myself for who I was and to find rich meaning in life more simply. Could I actually enjoy life without all the notoriety that came with being a young, successful entrepreneur? Who would I be without that business? Well, when my meditation teacher asked me that in 2017 or 2018, I said I'd be dead. I'd be dead without this business. There is no chance in hell that I would let this fail. There's no chance in hell that I would shut this down. And that was a seed. And within probably 6 months, I had shut that business down because I realized that it was completely owning my experience of life, my sense of self, my self-worth. Everything was tied to this idea of the somebody that I was. And so since that time in 2018, over the last 6 years, I've been pulling back the layers, and that process of deepening, healing, letting go of emotion, stress, loving different parts of myself, and understanding and learning more about the fragile ego that I have, the fragile personality that I built to try to survive in a scary world. That was my experience as a youngster. And so the layers have just been coming off and off and off. And that did reach a peak point at the end of last year. And again, I'd created so much beauty in my life and it was looking so amazing and it was quite enriching, but I was just craving depth, craving meaning on a deeper level. And I just intuitively knew that it had something to do with spirituality, had something to do with even potentially religion. And so I started to look. I started to research a little bit about different religions, started to go to a Buddhist community center and a Buddhist monastery. I started to do a little bit of research about Christianity, started to do a little bit of deeper looking into the Vedic tradition, which is somewhat linked to Hinduism. That's the way that the West would categorize that field of wisdom and that way of living. But more accurately, it's called the Vedic tradition because it's non-bias, kind of similar to Buddhism in a way. I started to explore more tribal ways of being, looking at South American culture, the Mayan tradition, and playing with all these different flavors that could give me the chance to explore deeper meaning.